Hello awake ones, welcome to my second video. I don't seem to have received much attention from the first one, but I don't believe it's physical attention that matters. From my understanding of the laws which manifest this universe, it's my spiritual intention from my viewpoint which will reach the multitude of viewpoints or spiritual beings who are operating at the same or similar frequency to me. This creates an awakening in others of the same or similar concepts and truths spoken of in my first video. In fact, it only takes around 10 or 20 people to watch the video and agree with my viewpoint to a greater or lesser degree for it to have enough spiritual force to influence a multitude of others around the planet who are awake. For me in this case, due to the force of influence I have within the spiritual dimension or realm. So when I make a video, it reaches others through the spiritual universe primarily. So the number of views is not that important. And since we are all primarily spiritual beings operating in bodies within the physical universe, we are all connected through the spiritual dimension and have the potential to know or duplicate the viewpoint or perspective of every other spiritual being operating within this universe to varying degrees of awareness, depending on frequency or unattachment to the illusion that is this universe. Now to the subject of this video, which is a plea to the White Hat and Alliance leadership. And the plea to the White Hat and Alliance leadership is to end the pantomime or show being played out around the planet now. Because the longer this continues, the greater the suffering and the longer the deep state is able to duck and dive, pretending they still have a chance to enslave you all. The current cat and mouse game being played is pointless. I've heard many say it is being done this way to wake people up. My answer to that is that the best way to wake people up is to tell them the truth. After all, the truth will set you free. The truth never hurt anyone as long as the evidence is clear. Truth and honesty are always the best policy. Allowing lies and evil to persist for longer than necessary could be bordering on being complicit and in agreement with such. It's getting to that stage now, I think, so action needs to take place overtly around the planet to reveal the truth of what is actually going on. The covert operation needs to end. It's quite amazing the way the White Hats in the Alliance have been able to control the whole game. And they definitely have been controlling the whole game. But it is to the detriment of the truth. It is waking people up, but I prefer the A to B approach, which is just give them the truth, give everyone the truth and let them get on with it. And I'll explain why that is important. We are a part of Source, the Supreme Being, God. Therefore, we are inherently and intrinsically truth. Therefore, we all know the truth, because we are this universe. We manifest it within and as a part of Source. Therefore, when a human is confronted with the truth, he or she inherently recognizes it as the truth, and it therefore will not harm anyone. In fact, the truth raises everyone's frequency as the truth releases pure spiritual energy, which has been trapped in past confusions created by lies. This is how human frequency is raised, by releasing pure spiritual energy, by unveiling the truth. Evil and lies can only persist and have power in the absence of truth. Evil and lies can easily be destroyed or negated in the full light of the truth. By revealing the truth alone, with all the evidence, the evil deep state agenda will be ended abruptly, because the world population will have the knowledge to not comply with their subterfuge and lies. Mass non-compliance around the world ends their evil agenda within a week. That evil agenda will literally go poof. It will just dissipate like the misty pockets on Earth's ever-changing floors as the morning light of truth rises from the darkness before. Their whole system worldwide will collapse, and their fear level will raise to total panic. And this will make it much easier for the military alliance to wrap up operations around the deep state governments and the lower levels of their control. But perhaps the White Hat Alliance leadership believe if they go mainstream with the truth and evidence of the deep state's evil agenda and crimes too abruptly, they will retaliate by attempting to pull off a major world mass casualty event. Well, from my perspective, and with what I know about how the laws of this universe work, that could not happen. Because as soon as they are exposed worldwide and the majority of the world population knows the truth, any power the deep state had will immediately dissipate, and they will be rendered powerless because their power is derived only from human ignorance. Excuse me, I was just checking to make sure my video is on. So an awake human race is their biggest fear. That is a deep state. The world they tricked humanity into believing was real is built around lies and subterfuge. So throw the rock of truth at that illusion and it collapses just like a rock passing through a pane of glass. So let me explain how the laws of the universe work with what I have been saying about this strategy. The truth sets you free. Now that is something that we all I'm sure most of us would agree on. Therefore, by entangling the world, therefore by entangling the world with the truth, the White Hats and Alliance leadership would have empowered a majority of spiritual beings or viewpoints with the same knowledge or truth worldwide. This truth exists in a much higher frequency and liberates pure spiritual energy from being entangled in lies and deceit, and therefore immediately begins creating a wave of unstoppable spiritual energy in the form of a greed reality, which would be like putting God's timeline on steroids, bringing it into certain reality the moment that level of world spiritual commonality of the truth was realized. Anyway, so remember, it is only the illusion of matter, energy, space and time, or the physical universe, which creates the apparency of separateness between all souls or viewpoints in this universe. Because a spiritual being or viewpoint or soul, or however you like to refer to yourself as, has no mass, no wavelength, and no location in space or time, except by consideration. And by consideration, I mean you have to decide or believe knowingly or unknowingly that you are in a location in space and time for it to be so. And so the most stable and real way to locate yourself in space and time is to have a form of matter and energy called a body. That body anchors you into the illusional reality called the physical universe. It is also a trap, but perhaps we'll go into that later in another video. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that by raising the world's spiritual frequency, by revealing the truth, it is very liberating, and the more liberated or free a spiritual being is, the closer we are collectively. And the power we have, either as a species in bodies or as a family of spiritual beings without bodies, is increased accordingly. And the illusion of separateness between all of us as souls becomes less apparent the closer that frequency gets to God and the ultimate truth. Well, I guess that concludes my plea to the good guys, leading our righteous charge towards freedom, justice, and truth. Remember, it doesn't take many free beings like you to agree with this plea for it to be heard and understood by them. So please like, share, and subscribe to my video so we can collectively make a difference and get this nightmare on the planet over with sooner rather than later. The new world based around Jasara and the global currency reset awaits you all. So thank you for taking the time to listen. Peace, justice, truth, prosperity, and love to all. Archangel Q out.